Hello everybody, Hero928 here, and we are starting a brand new Let's Play of Fallout 3. Honestly, one of my favorite Fallout games of all time. 4 is a very close second, but 3 is always going to hold a special place in my heart. But yeah, we are going to do a Let's Play of this game. So we're gonna start a brand new game here. Now, this first episode is probably going to be a little bit longer than other episodes will be. I'm going to, as for future episodes, we're going to try and keep episodes between like 10 and 15 minutes long. But this one is going to be a little bit longer because we're going to basically, as the episode title entails, we're going to try and just get through the beginning of the game. And for me, the beginning of the game ends pretty much when you exit the vault. So that's pretty much where we're going to stop with this first episode. So this is going to be a bit of a long episode, but expect other episodes to be around 10 to 15 minutes long. But yeah, now we got this awesome, intro cutscene. To basically see, oh, everything's awesome. Oh, wait, no, the world has completely gone to shit. But yeah, so we're gonna start this Let's Play fresh. Everything's gonna be awesome, and I'm super looking forward to doing this with you guys. So yeah, so we'll let this play out here. I love the power armor. Power armor is so awesome. Fallout 3. That's awesome, okay, because they put so much into this game, because this was actually the first...
War.
Wait,
War never changes. Since the dawn of humankind, when our ancestors first discovered the killing power of rock and bone, blood has been spilled in the name of everything from God to justice to simple psychotic rage. In the year 2077, after millennia of armed conflict, the destructive nature of man could sustain itself no longer. The world was plunged into an abyss of nuclear fire and radiation. But it was not, as some had predicted, the end of the world. Instead, the apocalypse was simply the prologue to another bloody chapter of human history. For man had succeeded in destroying the world, but war never changes. In the early days, thousands were spared the horrors of the Holocaust by taking refuge in enormous underground shelters known as vaults. But when they emerged, they had only the hell of the wastes to greet them. All except those in Vault 101. For on that fateful day, when fire rained from the sky, the giant steel door of Vault 101 slid closed and never reopened. It was here you were born. It is here you will die. Because in Vault 101, no one ever enters, and no one ever leaves.
So that was cool. It's actually been a long time since I saw that opening cutscene. That was pretty cool. But yes, so I'm gonna at least try and space out when I record these videos versus like when I put them up, because I also want input from you. I also want to see stuff in the chat, and I want input from you guys. You know, so I definitely want you guys to be involved in this Let's Play as well. If there's something you want me to do in a specific order, I want to hear about it. If there's something I missed, definitely let me know. But yeah, so we will start off here, choosing our sex. We are a boy.
It's a boy. A boy. We've got a son, Catherine. A beautiful, healthy baby boy.
Oh, James. We did it. A son. A beautiful son.
You've got a bright future ahead of you, son. I'm sure of it. Look at you. Look at you. Hi there. And your daddy, little guy. Daddy. You're going to need a name, aren't you? Your mother and I have been talking. What do you think about...
Alright, play a name. Our name is Hilo.
That's a good name, don't you think? Fits you perfectly.
Well, I think
Looks
so.
like they've finished the gene projection. Let's see what you'll look like when you're all grown up.
Yeah. Now, one thing I've seen in other YouTube videos, which I think is a very good attention to detail, and you think like, okay, so you look at your dad. He looks like 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 he could be like white Asian-ish. But then you're able to choose Hispanic, African American. You're able to choose all these races. How is that so? Somebody actually glitched the well, I don't want to say glitched, but basically did something with the game to where they could zoom out from that part and turn the camera around. The mother that you never see was actually black. She kind of looked like a black or African American / Hispanic. So yeah, they covered all their bases of like what. So that's why, hey, your character can pretty much be any one of these because your parents are kind of a mix of all these. So that was a very nice attention to detail. Way to go, Bethesda. Got to give you a thumbs up on that one. But we're gonna be Caucasian. I've always liked this face. I know you can customize things however you want, but I've always liked this face. And no, wait, no. Hair color. I like it being. I thought that was a dark brown, so I'll just go with brown. And wasn't there eye color? Oh, it's already down blue. Yeah, so this will be our dude.
Going to look a lot like your
But
dad.
yeah, I like that.
Catherine?
Bethesda pretty much pulled out all the stops for this one because this was their first like full 3D, like
Big world out there, son.
first-person
All
environment.
sorts
All
of
the
people.
Fallouts before this
What about
were
you?
pretty much
What kind of
top-down.
person are you going to be? Just Catherine?
Can't say much for tactics because I don't remember
Just
playing
cardiac arrest.
tactics.
Start compression. Get the baby out of here. Move, move. 1,000.
And we start the game with our mother having a heart attack.
Hang on. Okay.
And it is presumed she died. Moment of silence.
Don't look straight into the light.
James and his cheerly chatter.
Decorations.
May your future be
Nice
bright.
and simple, so this place will feel just like home. Come on over here, son.
Dude.
Come on. Walk to daddy.
I want to be able to zoom out and look at my baby self.
There you go. My goodness, just a year old and already walking like a pro.
Well, I'm a
I'm gonna
badass,
be
aren't I?
So proud. Listen, kiddo, I know you don't like it when Daddy leaves you alone, but I need you to take care of yourself for a minute. You just stay here while Daddy runs to his office. You'll be okay, pal. I'll be back in a bit.
Alright, and here's we open up the gate and head over to the Your Special book. Here is where we will be, setting up our stats that will kind of be following us throughout the game. Like, the type of character we want to be going for. Now, this may not be the character that you all would go for. And that's the beautiful thing about Fallout in general, or just RPGs in general, but specifically Fallout. You can play a character any way you want, and it all works. It all works just beautifully. So the character I'm going to create here may not be the type of character you prefer to go with, but hey, that's Fallout. You can do things however you want. Now, what I usually try and do, knock these down to 4. That way I can put strength and intelligence up to 10. Now, what this is going to do for us, with strength up to 10, we'll have like some of the max, like not so much max, but like a really high carry weight. And with that, we'll be able to carry a lot of goods, carry a lot of stuff. And trust me, we'll be accumulating a lot of crap throughout the Capital Wasteland. And with intelligence, for anybody who has not played this game before, intelligence. Okay, well, first I'm skipping ahead a little bit. Strength not only affects our equip load, but will also affect our melee damage, how much damage we can do with melee attacks. There's another stat that will affect that later on, but we'll go into that. So though I'm not really going to be using melee that often, it's nice to have that up there just in case I need to use some melee, plus I like to have that extra equip load. Now with intelligence, the stats that intelligence governs is usually like stuff like science and medicine and repair. Actually, no, I don't think repair. I actually think perception affects repair. I could be wrong in that, but we can look that up later. But which science is a good thing to have toward, as well as medicine. Medicine's going to affect like how much our stim packs and our healing items, how much they heal us, which is a good thing to have. But primarily, the reason I like to have a high intelligence, you're going to have a bunch of substats later on, like your effectiveness with explosives, with small guns, with big guns, with picking locks, with hacking computers, a whole bunch of substats later on. And whenever you level up, you get to put a certain number of points toward these substats. And how many points that you're given each level to put toward these stats is affected by your intelligence level. So I like having a very high intelligence level. That way I have the most amount of points possible to put toward these substats. Now, in order for me to get strength and intelligence up to 10, I had to, as you see, I had to take 1 point away from all these, which may hurt me in the long run. I'm especially not liking to do that with agility, because one of the substats that agility governs is your use of small guns, which is what we're going to be using primarily. So as much as it pains me to do something like this is usually the character I try and go with. I usually have, or not that I try and go with, this is usually the character that I find I have the best results with. Again, this is the character I like going with. If this is not the type of character you would go with, hey, that's more power to you. It's beautiful. It's a Bethesda game. It's an RPG. It can be played however you want. That's the beautiful thing about it. But this is the character I usually try and go with. So we'll just go with that. So now we've assigned our stats for this run. Now we wait for Daddy to come back. Any day now, Daddy. There you are.
You are quite the little explorer, aren't you? Serves me right for trying to pin you in. Come on.
Damn straight.
I want to show you something. See that? It was your mother's favorite passage. It's from the Bible. Revelation 21:6. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain
Now,
of the water of life.
again, for anybody who hasn't played this game, remember that Revelation 21:6. At the very least, remember those numbers, because those are going to play a really huge role very, very later in the game. To the point where by the time you get to that part, you may have forgotten these. I remember I did it first, and it bit me in the ass. But try and remember, at the very least, those numbers, 21:6. Try and remember those, because they play a huge point later on, way, way later on in the game. But here we are. Some years have gone by. Hey, it's our 10th birthday party. Sweet. Yeah, I'm growing up so fast. I'm almost as tall as an adult.
I believe you're already 10. I'm so proud of you.
And our dad is growing a very nice beard.
I don't have to tell you how special this day is, do I? Down here in Vault 101, when you turn 10, well, you're ready to take on your first official Vault responsibilities. So here you are. As Overseer, I hereby present to you your very own Pip-Boy 3000.
Yeah.
Get
Another
used to
staple of the Fallout series. You
You'll
cannot
be getting your
be
first
going
work
anywhere without a
assignment
Pip-Boy
tomorrow.
strapped to your wrist.
Enjoy your party. You're only 10 once, so have fun.
Oh man, you got a pit bull.
Happy birthday! We really surprised you, didn't
Well,
we?
go ahead, Amada.
Your
Just
dad
interrupt
was
that
afraid
dude
you
who
were
was in the
on
middle
to
of,
us. But I told
being
him not to
jealous over the
worry.
fact that
He's
I have a
so easy to
Pip-Boy.
fool.
I could have been relishing in all that envy, but no, you had to jump in with this. But anyway. All right. Hey, it's a great party.
You're welcome. But really, your dad did most of it. I just help with the decorations and stuff. Hey, I bet you can't guess what I got you for your birthday. Go on, guess.
Really, I have no idea.
Ha! I knew I'd surprise you. Who's your favorite barbarian? That's right, Grognak. Issue 14. And with no missing pages. I found this in a box of my father's old things. Believe it or not. Imagine him reading comic books. I guess everybody
Imagine,
was 10
indeed.
once. Well, I better let you get back to mingling with your guests. We'll talk later, okay? Happy birthday.
Boy, I wish I was 10.
All right. Well, since we have access to the Pip-Boy now, I could probably go over. Yeah. So yeah, these are the stats I was mentioning earlier, and it says here what the. Okay, never mind. It says here what they affect. That says strength. Affects how much you can carry, and it determines the effectiveness of all melee attacks. Yeah, we're not going to be doing too much melee, but I wanted it for that carry weight. And we have intelligence. Okay, I was right there, yeah, and it affects your science, repair, and medicine skills. And the higher your intelligence, the more skill points you get later on when you level up. Then, for the heck of it, I will explain the rest of these stats. And you have perception. A high perception grants you a bonus to explosives, lockpicks, and energy weapons, and determines when the red compass markings appear. Yes, you're gonna have a compass on your screen telling you which direction you're pointing. But when an enemy's nearby, you're gonna see a little red dot on that compass. And if you have a higher perception, the enemy can be farther away when that red dot shows up. So it's good if you're going for like a sneaking type build. You can kind of see enemies. You can know enemies are where the enemies are farther away before they actually know you're there, which is a good thing to have. Then we have endurance. Endurance is a measure of your overall physical fitness. High endurance gives bonus to health, environmental resistance, and the big guns and unarmed skills. That's a good one too. Especially, maybe I should have put a little bit toward endurance so I could have more overall health. That's really good if you're doing like a tank run, which is pretty much what I'm trying to do here. But like I said, I want to set. Dang it! My controller is very finicky. I apologize for that. But like I say, I gave my reasons for why I did things the way I did. But moving on. Charisma. Having a high charisma will improve people's disposition towards you and gives you a bonus to both barter and speech skills. Speech, if you've never played a Fallout game before, is usually a very, very important skill. There are so many situations throughout the game where you either have to talk your way out of a situation, or it's just more beneficial to you to talk your way out of a situation. So having a high charisma can help because it'll boost your speech stats up a little more. But my way around that is because I have a high intelligence, I end up having more skill points that I can place toward that stat later on. Then we know intelligence. Then we have agility. This is the ability I was telling you. It pains me to take away from. Agility affects your small guns and sneak skills, and the number of action points you have in VATS. I will explain what VATS is a little bit later. But yeah, since I'm gonna be using an abundance of small guns, it hurt me a bit to take a point away from that. But then again, I believe that with the heightened intelligence, we're gonna have enough skill points to make up for that later on. Then we have luck. Raising your luck will raise all of your skills a little bit. Having a high luck will also improve the chance of you getting a critical hit. Luck can, I never really see too many people emphasize too much on luck, because yeah, it boosts all of your skills a little bit, but it does just that, a little bit. You could have 10 luck, and it'll raise all of your stats, but only by a few points. Yeah, you have a higher chance of doing critical damage, but it's one of those, there's so many other good things you could be doing here. I don't see now. No, now don't completely destroy your luck so that you can have I'm really not liking this controller right now. It's like, yeah, don't completely destroy your luck so you can have more points to put other places, but I never really put too much emphasis toward it. Anyway, now moving on to what my controller's been alluding to all this time. Here are the substats or skills. Each of these things are pretty much things you can do throughout the game. We have barter, which basically helps you get good deals when you're buying stuff from merchants, and also helps you sell your stuff for better prices later on. Also, one thing to mention with each one of these skills, there are certain situations, not too many, with the exception of speech. But there are certain situations where having a high enough point value in that skill can reveal good or interesting dialogue options. But with the exception of speech, it's not really necessary. It's pretty much just look at all these skills and find out what type of character do you want to have, and then put emphasis on those skills. So that's barter. Big guns determines how effective you are with really big weapons such as the Fat Man, the missile launcher, flamethrower, miniguns, and Gatling lasers. You're gonna get really big guns later on, and you're definitely gonna want to use them. But if you don't have too many points in the big gun stat, then sadly they're not gonna do as much damage as they could if you had more points put into it. And there are going to be certain weapons to where if you don't have enough points put into your big guns, you're not really going to be able to use that weapon at all, which is sad. But then we have energy weapons. Same thing as big guns, but your effectiveness with energy weapons, such as the laser pistol, the laser rifle, and plasma pistol. Laser weapons are really good. They usually will bypass a lot of the damage, a lot of the defense that armor gives to enemies, which is really nice. Also, there's also always a chance that once you kill an enemy, the laser weapon will disintegrate them just into this like pile of ash sitting on the floor, which is always awesome to watch. But I prefer using like the actual guns with bullets in combination with a perk that I will get to later on. Then we have explosives, pretty much your effectiveness with explosive type weapons such as grenades. There are also a few situations where you're going to need a few points put into your explosive stats in order to complete a few missions. One of these missions we will be tackling in the next video, so keep your eyes out for that. Lockpicks. This stat governs how effective you are at picking locks. Where the Fallout games differ from, say, the Elder Scrolls games, if you may have played, whereas the Elder Scrolls games, regardless of what level, like in Elder Scrolls, each lock has a certain level, but instead of like a novice, and apprentice, and master like it is in Elder Scrolls, they just flat out say the lock is either very easy, normal, hard, or very hard. But the difference between Fallout and the Elder Scrolls games, if your lockpick skill isn't at least a certain number, higher level locks, you can't even attempt them. Whereas in the Elder Scrolls series, even you could be a novice in lockpick and go after a master lock. You'll probably go through a lot of lockpicks, but you can at least attempt it. In this one, if you don't have at least so much into your lockpick skill, they won't even allow you to attempt the lock. So lockpick is one of those skills you're going to want to devote some time to, especially because there are situations where in order to even progress, you're going to need to pick a lock or two. Yeah, they say that, there is a key for every door you need to get into, there's a key somewhere, But a lot of times those keys are such a pain in the ass to get to. You're just gonna have a better time if you just devote some skill points to lockpick. You're gonna have such a better time later on. Plus, you're gonna be able to get into a lot of good places by having a decent lockpick skill. Right, again, controller. Right now, we're at 12 points in our lockpick. I believe right now we can do very easy locks, and that's it. Before we can tackle easy locks, we need to have at least 25 points. And I believe it goes to 25, then 50, then 75, then 100. Those are like the tiers they go for. But anyway, on to medicine. Medicine skill determines how many hit points you'll replenish using a stim pack and the effectiveness of your Rad-X and Rad-Away. This is another skill that would do you good to invest a few points into it so that you're healing more later on. Especially if you find yourself in a really tight situation, if you're fighting like really tough enemies, it's a good idea to make sure your healing items are as effective as they possibly can. Melee weapons, as you can see, medicine, melee, repair, science right now, they're higher than the others. That's because we put all those points towards strength and intelligence. That's why these skills are higher than others, because we put all those points towards strength and intelligence. But melee weapons, basically your effectiveness with melee weapons. I love how it says anywhere from a lead pipe to the super sledge. Super sledge is a very good melee weapon. If you can find one of those, usually you find those from super mutants, which we will be tackling way later on, way down the line in videos. But I normally don't use melee weapons, but at the same time, if I'm in a tight situation where like my best gun doesn't really have that many bullets to it, if you have enough in your strength, you're glad you have it. You're glad you have that melee weapon there. All right, moving on to repair. Repair skills allows you to maintain any weapon and apparel. In addition to the repair skill, in addition to higher your repair skill, the better the starting condition of any custom-made weapon. Yes, like in say Oblivion, for the Elder Scrolls fans, like from Oblivion and back, items have durability. They have a condition. They can only take so much abuse before they are just unusable. Skyrim, as well as Fallout 4, took this away. Some may say for the better, I say for the worse. I kind of enjoyed having the condition there. But yes, they can only take so much abuse before they are rendered unusable. But unlike in the Elder Scrolls games, if you have an item that is similar to an item you want to use, you can use parts from that item to repair your current one. And that's what this stat is going to help you do. The higher this stat, the higher you can repair your item to with spare parts from a similar item. Again, a very good stat to pay some attention to. Not too much, because you only have so many points to really deal with each level, but something to devote a little bit of attention to. Then we have science. Just like picking locks, there are also computers to hack, and same restrictions apply to lockpicks. There are very easy, then hard, very hard lock computers, and if you don't have at least so many points, you cannot even attempt to hack the computer. They won't even let you. Right now we're sitting at 24 points. One more point to that, and we'll be able to do easy computer hacks. Right now we can only do very easy ones. But let's move on. Then we have small guns. I'm going to be using this a lot. Determines your effectiveness with all small guns, such as the 10mm pistol, the BB gun, the assault rifle, and the combat shotgun. Yes, these are the types of weapons I will be using the most throughout this game. Yes, I love using some big weapons and a few laser weapons here and there, but it's guns such as this I usually spend the majority of my time with. So that's what you're going to be seeing me use the most of. Then we have sneak. If you click the left thumbstick, or I believe it's control if you're using the mouse and keyboard, you will go into sneak mode. And if enemies aren't aware of your position, you can sneak around and hopefully they will not find you. And as logic would tell you, the higher this skill is, the less chance that you're going to be noticed by an enemy while you're sneaking. This also affects the pickpocket skill. If you're sneaking and you go up to an NPC and interact with them, you can see what's in their pockets. The higher your sneak skill means the better chance you're going to find good stuff while you're pickpocketing them, as well as it reduces the chance that they'll notice that you're stealing stuff from them. If the stat's really low and you try and steal something from them, they'll notice and they'll become hostile towards you. So if you're going for a sneaky build, definitely got to get this stat up. Then we have speech. This is what I was telling you about earlier. This is a very, very, very important skill to invest points into. There's going to be many opportunities throughout the game where your life just becomes so much easier if you have a high enough speech stat and you can just talk your way out of the situation. There's always ways to end a situation without talking through it. You just use a gun and blow everybody's head off. But a lot of times those situations will lead to other situations that are more difficult to work yourself through rather than if you were just able to talk it out. So I've noticed this is a very, very good stat, or skill, I should say, to put some points into. Moving on to our final skill, Unarmed. Not much to say about this, but it's basically how much effective you are at just using your fists. No melee weapons, just your fists. There are some fist-like weapons such as the brass knuckles and the power fist, but I never really put anything toward this stat because I'm more like, well, if I'm going to be allowing my enemy to get that close to me, I'd much rather just use a melee weapon. So, but it's basically, your hand-to-hand combat and how effective that is against enemies. Like I said, I never really put too much into that stat. But yeah, we also have perks over here. I will go into those a little bit later. Probably by the end of this video, I will go into perks. But that's it for now. Let's move on.
Happy birthday!
So we have a few people here to talk to at our birthday
Enjoying
party.
yourself?
Are you having a nice party? 10 years old. My. Seems like only yesterday that your daddy came. Goodness, listen to me ramble.
Uh-oh.
You're waiting
Looks
for
like
your
she was about to
present,
reveal
aren't you?
something. I wonder. Yes, ma'am, we want a present.
Such a nice, polite young man you are. Don't ever lose your gift to speaking your mind so directly. We could use more of that down here. Here you go. A nice sweet roll that I baked for you just this morning. And it's all for you. You're the birthday boy. No sharing required today.
Sweet.
Hey, happy birthday, Nosebleed. Andy, wait.
And talk to this
How do you
person.
like that Pip-Boy, son? Fit all right and everything?
So yeah, really cool.
As a matter of fact, I did. I'm glad you like it. Some may think the A series is a bit basic, but I've always preferred them for their reliability.
Alright. Thank you.
Don't mention it. Oh, yes, I almost forgot. Happy birthday! Not much, but I hope you like it.
How's it going, pal?
And Andy over here destroys the cake. You are a very useless robot.
Pip-Boy. What is that? One of the 3000 A models? What piece of junk? I think you have to wind it up every morning.
Yeah, you shut up.
How's it going, pal?
Now we wait here. Something's going to happen.
Daddy, I told you.
There we
not to
go.
act all official.
I'm hungry, and that stupid robot destroyed the cake. Give me that sweet roll you got from Old Lady Palmer.
Yeah, go blow off. There's a bunch of good options you can do for this guy. I was like this one. Just for me, it's just like you're being the most asshole. Like, oh yeah, you want it here.
Ugh, I don't want your nerd cooties. You're gonna be sorry you did that. We'll see how tough you are later when the grown-ups aren't around.
Sure.
Yeah,
I
we'll
know
see,
you
won't
were
we?
joking, but
We'll
I'm not
see.
sure anyone else
Come at me, Scrub Lord. I'm ripped.
Nonsense. People always enjoy my little speeches. Besides, that
Can I have some of that?
Butch.
I'd like to pick at that.
I don't think his puny arm is strong enough to lift that pit boy.
Ugh,
Nice
this is
part.
How's it going,
supposed to be
pal?
a party, you know? Fun.
So, what do you think
You
we
should
should
try
try?
Now we're
sometime,
waiting for
Dad.
more stuff to happen.
Butch is such an idiot.
There we go.
Just ignore him.
Yeah, I'm not scared of him. Screw
I
him.
know. He thinks he's so tough. One of these days, we'll figure out a way to get him back, okay?
Hey, how about the Volt Dweller?
Nice
Get it?
part.
Who wants to go around all day being called a Volt Dweller?
I'm
Sometimes
sure
I
of
think
it,
you
Amon.
really are as
Never
dumb as you look.
suspected a thing.
Now
Oh,
waiting for
those
more
are
story to
some
happen.
Good ideas.
Yeah,
Thanks for
I
coming,
got
Stanley.
one. The
I know you were
Mackers.
busy.
Super cool.
There we go. That's what I was waiting for.
Who's the head of the gang?
Then
You're
Dad
the
gets
head.
up.
No way.
Mrs. Palmer. I help with the decorations, you know.
Oh, really? They're lovely. You did such a splendid job.
Hey, you having a
Jonas?
nice time?
Hey, Doc. We're all set down here.
Thanks.
Hello, Officer
I'll send him
Gomez.
right down.
I'm glad.
Hey, that was Jonas on the intercom. He and I have been cooking up a little surprise present. Jonas is waiting for you downstairs on the reactor level. Go ahead. I don't think anyone will mind if you slip out for a few minutes.
You could make it.
I'm glad to be here. I think it's important to keep in
Do,
touch
do,
with the young
do.
people.
Happy birthday,
Oh, yeah, her.
dearie. My goodness, I hope I didn't miss the party.
Like, yeah, you did. You're late.
They sure did. My. 10 years old already? Why, I can remember helping your dad change your diapers. And now look
Ew.
at you, a great big grown-up 10-year-old with your very own Pip-Boy. Since this was such a special occasion, do you know what I did? I wrote you a poem, just for you. I hope you like it.
Thank you.
Of course. Run along now, dearie, and have yourself a wonderful birthday.
You know,
guys are dumb.
as part
Oh,
of my
boy.
job, plus, well,
Okay, so now, I'm not gonna sit here. Ooh, that's right. I forgot we got this. Magazines. In the game, you can get magazines that will raise up your skill points. Each magazine does different things. This one is going to raise up our melee by 1 point, which is really good. So keep an eye out for those throughout the game. Data. Here you go, notes. Now, I'm not going to sit here and read this whole thing. I'll just kind of scroll a little bit. You can pause the video if you want to read it. But yeah, this is very depressing. Yeah, that chick's got some problems.
Sure thing.
Then again, her kid is Butch, so yeah, you can only imagine what she has to go through. But we go down here to the reactor, like our dad told us. We see this guy.
What are you doing down here, young man? I thought kids weren't allowed down on the reactor level.
Yeah, I'm not a kid. Screw you.
You sure are. Pip-Boy and everything. Look at that. If you can wait just one more minute, I think your dad will want to give you the surprise himself.
And more waiting around. You do a lot of this in the beginning of the game, sadly. By the way, this looks like a really cool
Are
reactor.
you ready for your surprise?
Yes.
The Overseer gave you your Pip-Boy, and you're old enough to do some work. So, I figure you're old enough for this. Your own BB gun. It's a little old,
Sweet.
but it should work perfectly.
Sweet.
Jonas found it down here. It was in pretty rough shape. Took us a good 3 months to find the parts to get it working again. You know how tough it is to find a spring that small? Good thing Butch misplaced that switchblade of his.
Good
So,
lord, that
what do
kid
you
had a
think?
freaking
Want to give it a
switchblade?
try?
What the fuck is his mom doing? I mean, a BB gun is one thing, but a freaking switchblade? He could have shanked somebody. Alright, yeah, but we can't shoot a gun down here.
We sure can't, unless we want the Overseer beating down our door. Jonas and I have found a place, though. Come on.
I love how he's like, it's like, yeah, we can't shoot the gun down here, but don't worry, we found a place. The place is actually right next door. Real smooth. But anyway, faulty logic aside.
Well, what do you think? You can come down here and shoot anytime you want.
Sweet.
Couldn't have done it without Jonas's help. You make sure to thank him.
And we will do just that, because I think he gets some pretty funny dialogue.
Happy birthday, buddy. I hope you have fun with it.
Thank you.
Hey, you don't turn 10 every day. Now go on and let me see you shoot something.
As at this point, as the game is telling us right up there, we hit the right trigger to pull out our gun, and left trigger will zoom in for more accurate shots. So we go up here to our targets, and we get to shoot the targets. Trust me, after this, you are not going to be using the BB gun ever again. It is horrible.
Careful, it's a rad roach. Think you can take care of that with your BB gun? Just aim and shoot.
And here we get our introduction to VATS. VATS, or as they call it, the Vault-Tec Assisted Targeting System. Basically what it allows you to do, the game pauses for a second, and you can basically tell the game to fire at a specific part of your enemy's body. This is where that one skill, or the one stat I was telling you about, where it said it affected how many points we had for VATS. Down at the lower right corner, those are our AP points, or action points. Every time you use VATS to target a specific part of the body, you use up a certain amount of action points. Had you increased that one stat earlier, you'd have more action points to work with. But for right now, we only have so many. I don't rely on VATS too much. I prefer just to treat the game more or less like a shooter and just run and gun. But there are certain situations where VATS can be helpful. But we'll go ahead and use VATS for this tutorial section. Just just tell the game to aim at the torso of the Rad Roach body, and it goes into a cinematic while you do that.
Good work. That's one less Rad Roach to deal with. Let's get a picture together. Capture the moment. Hey, Jonas, get a picture of me with the big game hunter.
Come next to Dad. Come on. There we go. And we transition to 6 years later. So now we are 16.
Relation 21-6. I am Alpha and Omega. The beginning and the end. As far as I can tell, you're a perfectly healthy 16-year-old boy. So yes, you have to go to class to take your GOAT exam.
Ah, yes, the GOAT exams.
You've got a GOAT to take.
Now there's a bunch of different dialogue options you can do here.
Hey, it's not. Come on, it's not so bad.
There's a bunch of different dialogue options you can do here. You can ask him about the GOAT, go deeper into these conversations. You can ask about your mom and stuff like that. But I'll leave that for anybody who plays this game afterwards. There's a lot of really good story here, and a lot of really good dialogue, but I'm going to skip a lot of that because I don't want to spoil everything for you guys. If you want to pick this game up later on and play it, do so. This game is so awesome. But anyway, we're just going to say bye.
Take care, son.
And go. Okay, now this is also a very important thing. This thing right here, these are bobbleheads. There are a bunch of these throughout the game for you to collect. It's really important for you to grab this now while you're here, because the only chance you're going to get this later on, well, I'm not going to spoil things, but yeah, you're only going to get like one more chance to get this later on.
How's things?
So your best bet is just to get it now. This is the medicine bobblehead. So while we have this in our possession, our medicine skill is permanently increased by 10 points, which is such a great thing. But yeah, there are many bobbleheads for pretty much every stat, small guns and everything else. Keep an eye out for them, but that one specifically, you only have like 2 chances in the entire game to get that bobblehead. And might as well just do it now. So now we move along, and we see, Butch and Amada, everybody have grown up. And they are fucking with Amada. So we're gonna step into this.
Tunnel snakes. Immature assholes, if you ask me. Why won't they leave me alone? It's not my fault my father's the overseer. I don't care about their stupid gang. Can you talk to them? Maybe Butch will listen to you. Please?
What the hell makes you think Butch is gonna listen to me? But whatever. I'll see if I can talk sense into him.
Thanks. You've always been a good friend.
I love how
I'll
she's
try
talking,
to
she's
Butch.
saying
They'll
all this
do
right
whatever
in
he
front of
says.
him. Like, he's just not even
Show
there.
it to her, Butch.
Well, whatever.
Hey, look. It's Smart Mouth. Afraid I ain't got time for your fancy words right now. So beat it.
Like, you know, fuck you.
None of your business, kid. Get out of here before you get hurt. If you mess with the tunnel snakes, you're asking for it. Got me?
Yeah. Okay. Now this is why I said speech is a very important skill. You're gonna be seeing this a lot in dialogue options. If you see this, yeah, there's a percentage that, yeah, basically if you select this, there's a 39% chance that you're actually going to be able, that this skill check is actually going to go through. With a percentage like that, it's not going to go through. But that's why you want to pay good attention to your speech stat. The higher it is, the higher that percentage is going to be, and the better off you're going to be in a lot of situations. But we're just going to say, you know what, or you're going to answer to me.
And who are you? Her boyfriend? Ha! Keep talking like that, boy, and we'll send you back to your daddy with a few broken bones for him to fix.
That's it. You, me, right now. Right here, right now is right here, right now.
Come on, tunnel snakes. This twerp needs another lesson.
Then we get to beat the shit out.
Leave him alone!
Look out!
This isn't solving anything!
Tunnel snakes rule. Lose hit him again. Give
Stop it! Please, stop fighting!
And for anybody interested,
Come on, tunnel snakes.
oh. Well, a little late in the game, but yeah, for anybody interested, you can also use VATS for melee and unarmed attacks as well.
This little bitch isn't worth our time.
Oh, not
Whatever you say, Butch. You're the boss.
Thanks for getting rid of them. Assholes. I don't know why they won't leave me alone. Just because my father's the overseer, I guess? Idiots.
Tunnel snakes rule. You're kidding me.
Fine, let's go.
Didn't you just get new parts for it?
Well, you made it. All set for the
Alright, then we have the classroom
Trust me,
scene.
It really isn't that bad. Just something everybody has to go through.
Okay, now here's where I'm going to cheat. Here's where I'm going to cheat everybody a little bit out of this intro. But I'm going to explain this here. What the GOAT exam is going to do, he's going to sit you down and ask you a shitload of questions. This part is very, very boring. All it does is he's going to ask you a bunch of questions. That's pretty much going to determine what stat that you get to pick. It lets you pick 3 stats that will receive a bit of a bonus before you go out into the Capital Wasteland. This is very, very boring. What you can do alternatively, which is what I'm going to do, is this dialogue option down here. Now, come on, I don't really have to take the stupid test, do I?
Listen, I like your dad. I might even like you if I wasn't your teacher. So here's what I'm going to do. If you want to skip the test, just tell me how you want it to come out, and I'll take care of it for you.
And you say, hey, let me see the results, and I'll just fill it out myself.
Well, all right. Here, take a look.
And this is basically what the long, really boring test is going to come out to. You basically get to pick 3 skills and give those skills a boost. Now what I'm going to do is pick lockpick. See how now lockpick's gone from 12 to 27. Speech and small guns. Now, like I said, science is a skill you want to put a lot towards as well. But since I raised up my intelligence as high as I did, I don't really need that to. Well, actually, scratch that. Actually, I'm actually gonna take away small guns and leave this other skill to explosives, and I'll actually explain why I did that probably in the next video. But yeah, it basically lets you tag 3 skills that basically get a boost. It doesn't affect how they grow throughout the rest of the game because there really is no growth to these skills. Like I said, when you level up, you get a certain amount of skill points that you can put toward these skills. But it just gives them like a boost for right now, which again, just makes you think, okay, what type of character do you want to build? And then kind of helps you, okay, here, now we're going to let you have a bit of a boost to whatever skills you like. But yeah, so with that, we're able to skip the stupid test and move on. It's very boring, and I always skip it. Now, 3 years later, so what we are 19 now.
Wake up! Come on, wake up!
I'm not going to be around.
And Amada is waking us up.
Come on! You've got to wake up!
What's wrong?
You've got to get out of here. Your dad is gone, and my father's men are looking for you.
Well, that doesn't sound good. What do you mean my dad's gone?
He's left the vault. I don't know how, but he's gone. And my father, he's kind of gone crazy.
Your dad is always crazy. What are you talking about? Never seen you this scared before.
It's Jonas! They killed him!
That son of a
My father's
bitch.
men. They took him and... Oh my god, you have to leave now!
Are you okay?
Yeah, don't worry about me. I'm just sorry you had to find out like this. I know Jonas was your friend. But we've got to go now. My father's men will be here any minute.
Well, but the door is sealed. I thought the door was sealed shut. That's what that intro video told us. The door was sealed shut and has not been opened.
Not anymore, apparently. But are you honestly telling me you had no idea your dad was leaving? He really didn't tell you?
My dad don't tell me jack shit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sure he had his reasons. Maybe Jonas was supposed to explain everything to you? But it doesn't matter. I can help you escape. I have my own plan.
Oh boy, here we go. Matter of fact, there's even an option for that. Like, oh god, another one of your plans, Amada. But no, we'll stay nice guy for this.
Listen, there's a secret tunnel that leads directly from my father's office to the exit. You'll have to hack the computer in his office to open it. Use these to get into his office. That's how I always get in.
Yes, and we get bobby pins. If you've played the Elder Scrolls series where they give you lock picks, the bobby pins are essentially the lock picks of the Fallout series. You need these in order to try and pick locks. Alright, sounds like a good plan. Let's get the hell out of here.
One more thing. I stole my father's pistol. I hope you won't need it, but you'd better take it just in case.
Sweet.
Okay, I'll try to meet you at the exit. Watch out for security. Good luck.
Alright, now we're heading toward the end of our tutorial area here. We're just going to quickly go about the room and take some stuff. We got some Med-X, Stim Packs. We're going to take this, even though we don't really use this stuff, we're going to take it so we can sell it later. And that's it for here. Gonna go ahead and equip that 10mm pistol. Okay, so with the vault jumpsuit, we get +2 to melee weapons and +2 to speech. Or I can have a +2 to lockpick and +5 to repair. We don't really need that right now. And I'll go ahead and keep it put that on just for later. And put on the ball cap, because why not? Even though I don't know why I'm putting too much into that, because we're going to be quickly changing that up here shortly.
There he is. Hold it right there. Criminy, more roaches. Damn it. Get it off me.
It's just fun watching the roaches kill him. Damn, you bloody roach. Now you're going to see in the lower right over there, our experience. When you do random things throughout this game, you get experience. Unlike in the Elder Scrolls games where you level up by leveling up so many skills, which skills would go up the more you use them. In this game, random actions will give you experience points, and you use those, once you get so many experience points, you go to the next level. Now here's why I said it didn't really matter too much what we put on, because I usually switch out for these. The security armor and the security helmet, because those give us basically a better damage threshold and damage resistance. Which is good. Yeah, look at us here. Looking awesome. So now we come over here, and...
You gotta help me! My mom's trapped in there with the rat roaches!
Butch, what the hell do you want now? And look at those eyes! Oh my god, you look like a demon right now. Oh my god. Okay, let's go see if we can help her.
No, I can't go back in there. It's dark, and there's rat roaches.
That's your mom, you spineless little puss. Good lord.
Oh my god! Thank you. I didn't know...
What a fucking wuss. That's your mom. You can't even save your mom. You are worthless. But anyway, we'll use VATS here. No, no, no. Okay, well, I should explain here. Use the left stick to target which to change which part of the body you're targeting, and you use the right stick to switch your targets. Really?
Butchie, help me!
And we gain some karma.
We did it! My mom's gonna be okay. You're the best friend I've ever had, man.
We were friends?
I know it isn't much, but I want you to have my Tunnel Snake's jacket. Go ahead, take it.
That's a nice thing to have for later on, because melee weapons go up by melee weapons go up by 5, whereas the jumpsuit only brings them up by 2. So if you want to go for a melee build, that's a nice thing to have, and it has damage resistance to 4, which is not bad. Now I'm gonna go ahead and switch up to the baseball bat. Save some ammo for the rest of this trek, because enemies here are not going to be that difficult. So you're going to end up going over here. You can go in there and kill some rad roaches. Rad roaches are pretty good to ignore, because they only give you like 1 experience point. But you come up here, and we see a familiar face. If that familiar face wasn't fighting rad roaches.
Oh, you're lucky it was me who found you. The others won't be so forgiving. I don't know what you're up to, and I don't want to know. Just clear out of here, and I'll pretend I never saw you.
Yeah, thanks, officer.
It's a real shame it's come to this. I can't believe what they did to Jonas. Officer Mack was just out of control.
Why didn't you do something? Got another worthless piece of shit.
This. Go find your dad if you can.
And we have this guy over here fighting roaches with a flamethrower. Why can't I bring you with me? You're awesome. We go through this door. And we see these guys. These guys are about to make a very, very costly mistake.
I'm not gonna let anyone stop us. It's me.
Tom, be careful!
He gets his ass killed. And she decides to follow in suit. Well, we got like Romeo and Juliet going on here. Bunch of idiots. Anyway, we go up here. And we'll have a few roaches to deal with. Yes, screw you. Anyway, we go through here, find a few more roaches. You can also hold down your B button, or I believe it's tab on the keyboard and mouse. Turn a light for your Pip-Boy on, which is very good if you're in like a really dark place. There you are. So then you come over here, and we're gonna be greeted by a not so friendly face.
You didn't really think you could get away from us, did you?
Officer Hannon, you gonna die. Take a bat upside your head.
Your father.
Your father. Ooh. Alright, so we're gonna continue on this way. Now you can see in there, Amada is being interrogated by her father and Officer Mack. You can get some good karma by going in there and helping her, and which we're gonna do that, but we gotta go do something else first. We gotta secure our escape, which we're gonna go in here and see Jonah's dead body. Look at it. We can take his stuff. We also get a note from our father, which we can go and listen to. Note from Dad.
Hold on, Jonas. I need to record this first.
I'll let you just listen to that while I get a couple other important things.
I hope you'll understand, but I know you might be angry. I thought about it for a long time, but in the end, I decided it was best for you not to know. So many things could have gone wrong. and there's really no telling how the Overseer will react when he finds out. It's best if he can blame everything on me. Obviously, you already know that I'm gone. It was something I needed to do. You're an adult now. You're ready to be on your own. Maybe someday things will change and we can see each other again. I can't tell you why I left or where I'm going. I don't want you to follow me. God knows life in the vault isn't perfect, but at least you'll be safe. Just knowing that will be enough to keep me going.
Don't mean to rush you, Doc, but I'd feel better if we got this over with.
Okay, go ahead. Goodbye. I love you.
And that was very heartwarming. Okay, what I did over here is I grabbed some bobby pins and, you know, some vault jumpsuits so I can sell them later. You can, as you saw, you can also go in there and grab the key for this door. But I don't like grabbing that because I like to actually lockpick. Now here's where it explains lockpicking too. If you played any of the Elder Scrolls games, well, if you played Skyrim, then you know where this is going. Basically, you have to turn the bobby pin around till you find the quote-unquote sweet spot. Use the left analog stick for that, and then you use the right analog stick to turn the lock. Now, if you're in the wrong spot, it's going to do that. If you're in the right spot, basically you find this. Keep going until you find the right spot and the door opens. Now, anytime you pick a lock, as you see, you get experience for it, which is why I don't like picking up that key. And another reason I like to put enough skill points into lockpick where I can just lockpick my way through the entire game, is rather than finding the keys you need. Now, you need to hack this computer to open up the secret entrance. You can find the password to that door right here. Ooh, and 120 rounds. Hells yeah. Again, I don't like taking that, because I'd rather just, you know, hack the computer and get the experience points. Now we get into computer hacking. Now, anybody who's played Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, or Fallout 4 is going to universally say they hate hacking. It is a pain in the butt. But I'll try and give a quick overview as to what you're supposed to do. You have a bunch of words on here. One of these words is the password to the computer. Now, when you pick a word, well, crap, it didn't let me do that. But basically, when you pick a word and it's not the right word, you're basically it's going to tell you how many letters are right and in the proper place. And you basically have to use that. You have to compare that to other words and basically use process of elimination and find the correct word. There are other things. There are other things you can do to make hacking easier, which I will explain those the next time we see a computer. I'll go into those later on. But for now, we will open the Overseer's Tunnel. Thankfully, the tutorial is almost over. My God, this episode is probably going to be over an hour long. I should not have tried to do the entire tutorial in one video, but I'm going to. Pull out the, yep, pulled out because we got another rad roach. I think there's another one around here. Oh, crap. I almost forgot. We need to go back and help Amada. Now, the reason I wanted to secure our escape route first is you don't have to kill anybody. You can just go in here, make your presence known.
Please stop. Please don't have him hit me again. Don't you care that I'm your own daughter?
Yeah. But for the hell of it, I'm just gonna go ahead and kill this guy anyway, because why not? But if you're playing on a harder difficulty, you know, like very hard and stuff like that, a tactic you can do is just go in, kind of make your presence known, and then make a bum rush for the door. They'll follow you up to the Overseer's office, but they won't follow you through the door. Let's go ahead and kick off some ass. Like so.
My duty to the vault comes first.
Now, we've successfully pretty much saved Amada, and he's going to run away like a bitch. So now we can go through that door, and Amada will be more pleasant with us because we actually went in to help her before escaping ourselves. So we're going to go over here and go through this door. then use this button to open the secret passage, which leads toward the entrance to the vault. And we're going to use this panel here to open that door. Now this door is going to be locked, so they can't get it to you yet. But then here's Amada. Even if you don't go in and help her, she somehow makes it out here. But the dialogue options are a little bit sweeter if you actually went in to help her. As you can see, the vault door is opening.
I didn't think I would make it. My father, my Officer Mac, I didn't tell them anything, I swear. When the warning sirens came on, they all ran out. I guess that was you? I see you got the door open, that's good.
What do you mean? I did help her. You're going to see this a lot in Fallout 3. The game glitches a lot. As you saw, I did run in and help her. Oh well.
You're right, I understand. It was crazy for me to think you could stop them. What's important is that you made it. You got the door open.
You should come with me. It's not safe for you to stay here.
Don't worry about me. Whatever happens, I'm sure I'll be in less danger than you. I can't imagine what you're gonna find out there.
You got that right.
Go on, before anyone comes. Find your dad. I'll miss you. You've been a good friend.
And here's where you book it, because now they get the door open. But they won't follow you out. They won't follow you outside the vault. But they will try and shoot at you. Crap. But go out far enough, they'll just pretty much close the door behind you. Here's the door into the Capital Wasteland. Here is where you're also given one last opportunity to change anything about your character. Your name, your appearance, your starting stats, your skills. This is your last chance to edit anything. If you were thinking, well, actually, come to think of it, I didn't want this, I want to do this instead. This is your last chance to change those. But I'm happy with what I have, so we're just going to finish this and exit the vault. And we are greeted to the Capital Wasteland. Was basically going to be all we're looking at for quite a while now. Yeah. Also, yep, we're going to complete that quest, get 200 experience points, and get our first level up. Now, here's what I was talking about earlier. See, because I gave myself 10 intelligence points, I have 20 skill points that I can work with, which is very nice. Now, I like to do things relatively uniform, especially with the main stats that I like to use. So lockpick can kind of stay for now. That's why I put that tag on it earlier. I want to put 1 point to science. That way we can hack easy computers. And we still have 19 points to work with. Explosives is good for what we're going to be doing later. I'll put small guns up to 20. Can I do it to 25? Yeah. So I have 6 points to work with. Repair up one, that way I can get a little bit better at that later. Well, you know what? Instead of doing that, I'm actually going to put speech up to 30 and lockpick up to 30. And yeah, that'll be good for right now. Now, here's what I was talking about earlier, that other screen in our status. Perks. Perks are really awesome throughout this game. Basically, every even numbered level. So once at level 2, then again at level 4, again at level 6, so on and so forth. At least, maybe that might be how they did it in New Vegas. Maybe they do it more often here. But I believe it's like every other level. But you get to choose a perk. Different perks do different things, and certain perks will unlock depending on how many points you have in certain stats. But it's always good to look through all the perks and find find out what's going to work best for you, depending on the type of character you're building. Now, for this first one, you're usually only going to have a couple perks, because you're not that high of a level. We have Daddy's Boy, which will give you 5 points to both science and medicine, which would be nice because, you know, that would raise science up a little bit more, which is always nice. Gun Nut, which will put 5 points towards small guns and repair, also good. Oh, another thing you're going to see, right below where it says required level, ranks. Basically, that means how many times you can choose that perk. You know, because these perks, some perks are only a one-time use. You pick it, and then it never shows up again. Other perks with ranks, you can choose multiple times as you level up. If there's like certain skills you're trying to max out, the max points for the skills is 100, by the way. These perks will show up multiple times if there's certain things that you're trying to max out. Yeah, so yeah, Gun Nut will raise up small guns and repair, which is nice. Intense Training will let you put a single point toward any of your special stats, which is also good. And you can choose that one up to 10 times. So you could realistically get up to 10 more points to your special stats. I never really use that, but if you want to, it's a nice thing to have. And there's Lady Killer. I usually like having this. See, it says ranks 1, so you can only choose this perk once. In combat, you do an extra 10% damage to female opponents, and outside of combat, you will sometimes have unique dialogue options when dealing with the opposite sex, which is usually pretty good. Little Leaguer, which will give you 5 points toward melee and 5 points toward explosives. We have Swift Learner. This is a good thing to get early on. With each rank of Swift Learner, you gain an additional 10% of total experience. So basically, anytime you're gaining experience points, you're going to get an extra 10%. If doing something that would give you 10 experience points, you're going to get 11 instead. 20 experience points, you're going to get 22 instead. If you're going to get like 100 experience points, you're going to get 110. And each time, and like I said, with each rank, you get an additional 10%. So it has 3 ranks. So if you pick this 3 times, you could be getting an extra 30% of experience points. So this is usually what I like to pick with my first few perks. That way I'm getting more experience later on, and therefore more opportunities to level up and max out my skills. So again, this is the way I like to play things. If you want to play things differently, that's your then you're more than free to do so. It's an RPG. You can play it any way you want, and that's the beauty of these games. But anyway, moving on. Thief. With each rank of Thief, you gain 5 points towards Sneak and Lockpick. Very good there. Then all these darkened perks we can't use yet. Like I said, with Child at Heart, we need to be elite level 4, so on and so forth. As you see, there's a bunch of perks throughout this whole game. Very awesome. But for right now, I'm going to pick Swift Learner so we can get a few extra points. A few extra experience points. Alright, and with that, we've pretty much taken care of the entire tutorial of Fallout 3. Again, I know this has been a very long video, and I thank you all for sticking it out with me. Oh, now here's another thing. I have the Game of the Year edition of this game. So just about now, the DLC is pretty much loading in. And we are going to be looking at all the DLC throughout this Let's Play, which is going to be very fun. We're going to have like point lookout here. I'll go over all of this later on, like as it becomes more relevant. But I'm going to be ending this video for here for now. Like I said, this video has gone on way too long, and I appreciate everybody for sticking out for me, or with me, I should say. And expect future videos to be about 10 to 15 minutes long. Maybe more if by the time the time cap is coming up, we're like in the middle of like a dialogue or something like that. I may extend it a little more. But future videos are not going to be this long, and I appreciate you all sticking it out with me. But for now, I will see you all later. I hope you have a wonderful day, and take care of yourselves.